There we go. It's our lion, Kelly. Say hi, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. How's it going? TGIF.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed, and I am happy to be here. It is this week has been the longest month ever. Is it just me? Let's go to
No,
our little
it kind
scene
of
here.
feels that way
I
too.
think that was last August was the longest month ever.
Yeah. Oh, our guest is here. Let's bring him up. Actually, I need to turn something off here. There we go. One of my logos needs to be updated. I don't want to show a bad logo, so. There we have Dan Freeman. Good to see you, man.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Where's my yay button?
Other way. Dan.
I know I have a.
I have a special guest today. He's hanging out with me.
I recognize that guy.
He's kind of quiet though.
I pre-ordered his bobblehead.
Those mittens look cozy.
Yeah, I know. You guys need him out there on the East Coast today. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, even down, I'm in South Florida, and even here I'm feeling it a little bit. I can't complain. It's not bad, but, definitely feeling it.
Yeah, well, we don't have any sympathy for you.
No, I'm not expecting anything, but I'm like, oh, wow. I went outside. I'm like, what is that feeling? Oh, cold.
What's that hitting the ground? Oh, an iguana.
Yeah, all the lizards were hiding. So this is sort of an impromptu stream. Sorry to our viewers, we haven't been as regular with the streams as we'd like to. We've all been busy, a lot of things going on, a lot of excitement. The world's been crazy, our lives have been crazy, but we are dedicated to bringing you the stream because it is so much fun. And we're I don't even know where we should start. Kelly, do you want to bring us up to date with what's been going on with you?
Sure. I don't even know where to start either.
Right? You've been so busy.
Yeah, it's been so I took a part-time job. So just trying to wrap up some stuff with a bunch of clients. And so it's been a bit crazy, but it's been good. I don't know. It's kind of like everything else. There's not a whole lot new. I don't really go anywhere. I don't really see anyone. I hang out at the kitchen table a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like pretty soon we're going to get our vaccines. We're going to be able to go out again, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to. I'm like, I had to drive, and I'm like in a car, and I'm like, this is weird. I'm moving at 70 miles an hour, and so is everyone else. This isn't safe. People do this,
right?
But like real life is weird and crazy to me. But anyway, okay, that's enough for real life. Let's get down to business. We have Dan here, the founder and CEO of Video 360. Video 360.
Yeah, Video 360. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of interesting stuff lately. I'm always coming up with something new. Kelly knows me pretty well, and yeah, it's always an interesting day in the Video 360 land. So yeah, we come up with a lot of crazy stuff.
Well, and honestly, that's how I think of you as an inventor. I think of you as an inventor, as a developer. You wear a lot of hats. You're a CEO. You're a business manager. At some part of the day, you have to be a camera salesman a little bit. But I really think of you primarily as the guy who comes up with these amazing ideas. For over 10 years now, every time I see you at a trade show, you're like, all right, this is what I'm showing everyone. This is what I'm going to show you. Our next camera is going to do this. It's going to, and it's always been a little bit ahead. Stuff that we take for granted. Everyone does some sort of tracking now. The first time I saw anyone do any, or one of the first times, if not the first time, my memory's not that good, was definitely one of your cameras. So this is a long build up to a question, which is, has the pandemic changed everything from, the way you set yourself aside as being leading and inventing and ahead to just everyone needs cameras. We have good cameras. Have some cameras. The demand for cameras went crazy this year. How did that affect your world?
The interesting thing, we had some stuff that was already kind of like in pipeline, and I steered away from uh, consumer type devices for quite a while. I tried to stay in the enterprise and, made sure, because that's kind of the world I knew more than anything else. Okay. I've installed so much video. Um, just crazy numbers. But, of course, when the world came crashing down a year ago, we saw some challenges coming. And so I started working with some of my teams and we developed, some webcam stuff. And, they went gangbusters, went great. We were able to bring in product when nobody else had product because we did think way in advance and, scored on a bunch of chipsets. It's kind of what we did just recently, because I don't know if Ford and GM and Volkswagen, they're all shutting down a lot of their production lines because they can't get chips.
Oh,
So yeah, it's huge. It's a big deal. Billions of dollars of here, hang on. So let me turn that. I don't know if you guys hear my Outlook chimes. Let me just turn that
A little
off.
bit.
we never have
Yeah.
technical difficulties on this
Yeah,
on this
never.
show.
Yeah, never.
Right? What do the
Um,
kitties have to say about that?
Yeah. So, we were able to plan way ahead in chips, and that's one of the reasons we brought in like $1 million worth of inventory. I'm not the greatest business guy. My business guy is Chip Manning, and Chip is just screaming at me for bringing in all this hardware. But I felt it was important to make sure that we had hardware available for our customers when the chip market falls, and it's going to fall and fall soon. Just a little heads up for you guys. Here, all the chip companies in Taiwan and in China and, frankly, the US, so everybody that makes silicone is switching over to making silicone for industrial use. Like in your car, everything from the power windows to the autonomous driving all require chips. I mean, your headlights require chips. So when car purchases went down, all the industrial guys switched over to building electronics, like car cameras. And so then there was a plethora of those around and the chip prices dropped, everybody's happy. But now, governments around the world are screaming because the big automotive manufacturers can't get chips and people are losing their jobs, and it's becoming a really big deal. So we're going to see in the very, very near future a big choke on personal device chipsets. So it's going to swing the other way. So when industrial chipsets went away last year, this year, the personal device chipsets are going to go away. And we were able to plan ahead for that. And so, that's my job is I sit there and I look at all the industries that touch us and try to figure out, what would be a good way to move forward. So
Yeah.
So
that's
what
what
you're
I do.
saying is we should buy stock in chipsets, or we should
Yeah,
have
I would be looking at TSMC. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
TSNC.
TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation.
On it. Got to take notes.
Someone
Those are
needs to
the
explain
guys that are
stocks to
gonna
me
do
one day.
Really well. What?
Someone,
I don't have to. Your mileage may vary.
no,
But
but
I have no stock in TSMC, so.
I have no stock. I don't understand the stocks. But I know that
I got
chips are in
I
everything.
got lots of stock in Video 360. I think that's a great.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
I love it.
Let's do video stock.
Yeah, there you
Rising,
go.
always rising.
Rising.
So I have this 1-year-old kitten, and it has this one little toy. It looks like a little fuzzy ferret or something, and it beeps and it squeaks and it makes all this noise and everything. And he loves it so much. He carries it from room to room. He sleeps with it. We call it his girlfriend. He wrestles with it. He plays with it. One day I'm sitting here working, and all of a sudden I hear Loki, my cat, next to me. I look over, and he's sitting there looking at me like all proud, and in front of him is a chip, computer chip. I'm like, what's going on? And then I look, he had ripped open his girlfriend and pulled her brains out of her head. He murdered her, and he was showing me. He was showing, but it shows that the chips are in everything. They're in cat toys. They're
And
everywhere.
it shows you your cat's psycho.
He is a little too playful. He was so proud of himself. Look, I murdered her.
What kind of
But
toys
you're
are you
right.
buying your cat?
I'll show it to you next time. It's just a little squeaky little,
But
look,
there's chips in everything. Everything.
everything. It's a little chip, but he murdered it. But it made me think, yeah, if cat toys are using up chips, for those of us who need them in our cameras, it's like, oh, hold on a second, let's get our priorities straight.
Yeah, that's it's going to be a big deal. I mean, I think that's probably going to be the story for our industry for this year.
So is your focus moving forward into next year, like still pandemic, not quite post pandemic yet? Is your focus, hey, we got the chips, we'll be able to make the cameras. The rest of the world is going to say, sorry, we don't have any cameras. We're going to have them for you. Or is your focus, hey, we're coming up with new stuff that the other guys aren't going to, do? Are you in inventor mode or are you in supplier mode right now?
Both, actually. I do have a new product coming out. Can't quite reveal that one yet. I think, I've shown both of you, so you keep your mouth shut. But that one's coming out pretty soon. But I see what's happening here is we're going to be going to a place where that 8-person conference room is now a 1 to 3-person conference room. And you want to have stuff that, without saying any brand names, Barco ClickShare and Video 360 3C, that they're a great combination for that type of room. You walk in with your laptop, either dongle or software into the ClickShare, and then you have the 3C in the room. And rather inexpensively, you've got to bring your own device product. And I think that's what we're going to see as a big push. Probably middle second quarter, we're going to start seeing those rooms coming back. I don't think we're going to see any Pro AV heavy duty rooms until after the new InfoComm in October, which I think is a great idea for them, by the way. October for InfoComm is smart.
Yeah.
So much, won't be like 5,000 degrees either.
Yeah. You're not going to have mosquitoes the size of David coming in and sucking you dry.
The size of David.
Is it in Florida this year? I'm all mixed up.
Yeah, it's going to be Orlando in October sometime, which I think is cool. It's a good idea.
All right, so I don't have to fly. I'd love it if I never have to fly again.
If they can move ISC to being spring in Barcelona. Oh, yeah, baby. That was not this spring, but the following spring.
I don't know, man. Barcelona's awfully nice in the late summertime because then you can go in the water because it's nice and warm.
Yeah, true.
It's a long flight, though.
Barcelona's so pretty. Such a cool place.
It's like, I'm not going there. Hell
I
no.
don't want to ever go on a plane again. I never liked it. It's scary.
Oh, man.
It's crazy. Go on planes? What are you people thinking?
When I was in the Navy, I was an air crewman. And quite often my flights would be like 18 hours. And we'd fly out for 5, work for 8, fly back for 5.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. So I got used to whatever. I'm hurtling through space in an aluminum tube all the time. It doesn't matter. So now when I'm not doing that kind of stuff, I feel a little bit off, to be honest.
I prefer a boat.
Well, I do boats too.
Boats work for me.
Too.
Yeah, Dan, tell everyone what you do in your boat and all the cool stuff where you go.
Well,
So
my wife and I we're cruising sailors now, and we've been sailors. I didn't grow up in that world at all, and I just had a dream of that's what I wanted to do. And the first question I asked my wife back in 4 decades ago, was, would you just go sail around the world with me? I didn't own a boat, never sailed on a boat. She
That's
said,
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, and she hadn't either. So we're a perfect fit. And years later, we bought Slocum 43, which is a cruising sailboat. And we took off on that out of Seattle when I owned my company VCAV, and worked our way down the coast down to San Diego, hung out there for a little bit. At that time, that's when I started Medio 360. And then that actually, that's the reason for our logos, Compass, is because of that.
A lot of your camera names too.
Yeah, the Compass,
Navigator.
Navigator. What's some of the other ones? We use Springline for our extenders. Springline is what you tie a boat up with. Anyway, we just we come up with interesting stuff. And so then we sailed from San Diego down Mexico. We were in Mexico for a few years, lived in El Salvador for a year, sailed down to Costa Rica, and then down to Panama. We were in Panama for a couple of years. Came back up to Costa Rica, and that's where the boat's at now. So we're offshore sailors, and yeah, that's what I'd rather do than anything else. But
That's awesome.
got to pay the freight. So here we are.
Well, if something goes wrong with the boat, you could jump out and swim. I can't jump out and fly,
No.
so.
No, you've never been offshore.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, really? Oh man.
We've had some really, really interesting experiences. Yeah.
No, I don't want to go in any storms or anything.
I've
Yeah.
been in those.
No, thank you. I like the nice, calm.
Seen some really interesting, cool stuff out there. Saw a sunfish one time. I swear, was like 20 foot long. Yeah, it wasn't, but it felt like it was.
Cool.
And it was. I don't know if you know what sunfish are, but they're like the weirdest, ugliest fish ever. So they're like a big platform of slime when they come up to the top. They have the eye on the side of their head, and the little short, stubby fins way at the back of their body, and they're like a platform out there on the water. And what they do is they come up into the UV, and the UV kills the bacteria on their skin, and they flip over and do it again, and then go back down into the deep. They're like a hand,
Gross.
only huge. Yeah, they're just weird.
The-
They're just really weird fish.
sea creatures are weirder than anything in science fiction. When I watch like those Discovery Channel shows and they show the weird fish, I'm like, that's weirder than anything in the Star Wars.
Oh, and octopus they're aliens anyway. Yeah,
They're
so
cool.
crazy.
yeah. I think their DNA just has some parts in it that scientists don't know where it came from.
They can do all kinds of stuff. There's no-
I say aliens did it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So this is a good time to promote or to bring up. Dan is going to be hosting a new show similar to this one.
Yeah.
And the idea is, I think I'm going to be his first guest on Tuesday. We're going to try this.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
We're going to come up with some scenes like this. And Dan came to me with this idea because it's just, we're missing the social engagement we're having at work. When we work with people physically, we try to be good and sit in our offices and work, but there's those hallway conversations, there's going out to lunch, there's sitting, having a cup of coffee in the kitchen area, and we're missing that kind of stuff. So Dan came up with the idea of something along the line of the Between Two Ferns, just sitting with a friend. We're going to come up with a scene. I think probably we'll put us on a boat, because I love hearing you talk about being on a boat.
Yeah,
And-
that's really cool.
Yeah, and every week or every other week or whatever we decide, we'll have a guest, or Dan will have a guest. I'll set it up for him, and we'll I guess we need to come up with a name and a title and all of those sorts of things. But follow Dan on LinkedIn and on Twitter, Video360, because I think it's going to be fun. Anything you want to add about it's your idea.
Yeah. my thought was, one of the things I love about going to trade, I work like remote all the time. This is what I do. I've been doing it forever. But one of the things I love about trade shows is my friends coming by, and I'm usually have a nail driven through my foot at a booth. I can't leave, and I have to stand there. But I love it when people come by and they visit, and sometimes they're coming by to pitch something new that they've got, and that's great. That's cool because I like to know what my friends are doing. But the other part of it is, they're coming by and Kelly knows I love to cook, so we'll come by and we'll swap recipes. People that know that I like to go boating. They'll come by and we'll talk about boats, or the football game coming up. This weekend. We would talk about something like that. Whatever. It's that the social interaction that's part of business, and we do these meetings all the time that are just meetings. Have an agenda, and you got to get this done, this done, this done. And I'm finding that that the little micro interactions, if you want to call them that people have, is missing from all that. So I think I want to call it between the meetings.
Between the
two
meetings.
turns. Yeah,
I like it.
I like between the meetings.
I like that
So
too.
it's just like when you walk out of the conference room and you're walking down the hall and you start bullshitting with your friend that was sitting next to you that you hadn't talked to in a while, but you couldn't talk about personal stuff in a meeting because it wasn't appropriate. Here you go. Here's your chance. And I don't. They're not going to be long. 15 minutes, whatever. But those conversations aren't long. But they're important, and it gives everybody a chance to get that feeling that we're not all sitting behind a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
I
Totally.
think it's a great idea. I'm really excited about it. I'm glad you came to me with it. I'm looking forward to being your first guest.
The first person I thought of that I enjoy talking to at a trade show is you.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, David's so cool. I think that would be a blast. And frankly, we're not going to be talking about business. If you
We'll talk about
we'll talk about what you're doing maybe, but frankly, I just want to know how you're doing, what you're feeling,
Catch up.
and what's up, what you had for coffee this morning, and that kind of thing. That's all.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, I've been at the water cooler. Exactly, Michael Baker. Michael Baker! Good to see you.
Yeah. Oh, did he pop in?
Yep, he's in the chat right now. We need to get Mike on here
That'd be
at some
fun.
point.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll
get Mike on the
do
boat.
Yeah, he does. I'll do one of my chats with him. To work for us, you pretty much have to be a boater. We have a new engineer working with us, building out our autopilots, a guy named Eric Anderson, and he's a live-aboard sailor over in the Seattle area,
Cool.
and he's a cool guy. Aaron, our former lead engineer, he still works with us a little bit, but him and his new wife Amy just bought a sailboat down in Florida. They're down in Fort Pierce, and they're getting ready to head to the Bahamas. So, yeah, and Aaron is he's a hardcore offshore sailor too. So Chip has a dock out his office window. I mean, it's
That's amazing.
But right there, for us, the boats are a thing that bind us together, but it's also, for me, particularly on the engineering side, having the confidence of somebody that can go offshore and do practically anything working for me, that's a huge deal. That's
That's
to
awesome.
me, that means that person's somebody I can depend on, and they're good folks. I mean, that it's really like an interview question. Do you live on a boat?
Well, you have to vibe with people, and if boating is your vibe, and you can relate to them that way, it's going to make your team stronger. I really think people like overlook the importance of team synergy. They just, they just hire the smartest person at this role, the smartest person at this role, the smartest person at this role, and then they hate each other and can't work together. It's not always about just the ideal person. It's about the person that fits.
Yeah, there is a lot to that. You have to look at the skills, obviously, but that other filter is, what is the person like outside of those skills? What's the humanity?
And what everyone brings to the team, like Michael's pointing out in chat that he's got a power boat, so when the wind dies down and you guys are stuck,
Hey,
he's a
like
necessary part of the
there's-
team.
if there's a race between a powerboat and a sailboat, the sailboat wins every. And you know why?
Why?
Because the sailboater's already where he wants to be.
That's philosophical. Hey, Michael Baker, is there anything that you want to make sure that Dan shares with people about Video 360 before we wrap this up? I know that I'm going to get an email from Mike saying, why didn't you tell Dan to talk more about the cameras?
Well, I can. One of the things we just did was we lowered the price on our autopilots. That's another boating name, but that's that tracking camera that you saw, David.
Mm.
That was important to me. We were able to recover our development cost on it by about the middle of last year, and at that point, then we were looking at what can we do to help out education, because that's really the big thing for tracking cameras is for education. So what can we do to help out the educators? And I've got a bunch of educators in my family. I think a lot of people do, but such an important thing, and cost is such a factor. So we took our autopilot camera system, which now has the Sabre 20, which has NDI output, which that's very cool.
Mhm.
But it has NDI, SDI, HDMI, USB. It has a bunch of different outputs, and so we put that camera into our autopilot system, which normally you would raise the price on something by doing that, but we actually went in and we dropped the price, and we dropped it by 25% because we recovered our costs, and we're not greedy. So we thought it was a good idea, and I still think it's a good idea. Of course, Chip the business guy is going, no. On the other side of that, he understands too. We felt it was really important for us to do that.
Yeah, especially now when
yeah.
so many people are teaching remotely and they need to have a good
Yeah.
experience. We want to help out our teaching community.
Well,
That's a
it
good one.
also, it provides for some really great engagement, and it's really the only tracking camera system that effectively does zooming in and out. So as you walk back and forth and in and out in a space, the camera keeps the same framing on you. And then, like when you stop, that means the camera, the heuristics on the AI that's in the software, it zooms the camera in a little bit on you.
Nice.
And then when you start moving, it pops out a little bit, gives you some space. It'll track you when you're facing away, like working on a whiteboard or doing something like that. It'll track you. I had a professor in college that he would walk in, introduce himself, give us a subject, and turn around and write math on the board for 45 minutes.
Just look at the back of his
Yeah.
head for.
And you look
Yeah.
at the back, and that was it. It wouldn't even talk. You just.
How
Oh
nice.
man,
Then at the end,
that's not
at the
effective.
45 minutes at the end of that. Oh, and believe me, this was back in the day, date myself a little bit. We would sneak in cameras to take pictures, the little disposable cameras. We'd bring in those disposable cameras to take pictures because he'd be writing so fast.
Oh wow.
There was no way to share other than that. The social media was, we take these pictures and then
Social media.
everybody pitch in the the money to get it developed. Yeah, that was back in the day. So things have changed a little bit now, you know. Thanks to the guys, Dave Martin at Smartboard, right?
Well, and we all have these. Makes it a little easier.
Well, but you know, don't even need that. Got Smartboards. They write it
Yeah.
on the board, email it to me, send me the PDF.
It's all saved.
Yeah.
So hold on a second.
Look,
We need to get Kelly a light. What's going on over here?
I know. I'm moving. I'm moving. I just got a new desk and I'm moving to a new area with good lighting and all of that stuff. I'm just in a very bad spot. So
And I need to fix my
really
settings. Look at
I
me.
really-
I'm orange.
I really don't look like this
Yeah.
in real life. Like I have color.
Hold on.
terrible. Andy, you know, it's funny with Kelly's green screen when it reflects off of my screen. So David, you talk, watch my skin color change.
Oh, the green from that's funny.
Isn't that
Oh,
hilarious?
weird.
Yeah, because he's looking at his monitor.
Uh,
Oh. Ooh.
yeah,
Oh, there we go.
We can take it out.
Now I'm a little less
But
orange.
I'm on my 1C right now. This is the same camera I ran over in a truck.
All right, can we restart the whole thing? Because I don't like how my color looked for the first 40 minutes, and now I like
now
it.
I'm
So
green again. Thanks, Kelly.
let's start all over
Sorry,
again.
I'm sorry. I'll just drop off.
No, you're fine. But
No.
let's just start. Hi, I'm David Maldo, and welcome to the podcast. Because I look better now, so let's just do the whole thing over.
Why not? Yeah. Hey, we got the time.
We're here with Dan. We're here with Kelly. No, these
Yeah,
are just the quirks of video, and it's all fun stuff.
Yes, but I will next week I will have a better setup. It's just, life gets in the way.
By the way, yeah, the camera that I'm on right now, it's this guy.
Nice.
This
like
is
the
one
small-
with
small form factor.
Integrated USB port. We came out back in June.
Nice.
Actually May, I think. But it's 1080p but it's a brick. This thing is like, if I was to walk into a room swinging this, it's a weapon. But the one that I'm on right now is literally the one I ran over in a truck.
Oh wow.
Funny.
Yeah.
You
Oh.
did. There's a video about it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, if it could handle that, it could handle me dropping it because I drop everything.
Well, I wanted to build something you could just throw into your laptop bag and go work from anywhere. And that's what this one is designed for. Doesn't have microphones in it on purpose. That's why we put the USB port in the back, because a lot
Headset.
of times people Kelly's using a headset,
Mhm.
and she could plug that right into the back of the camera.
Very cool.
And I use that hub on this one for running one of my other cameras that I can't talk about yet. But believe me, that having that extra USB port is great. But I look up here in front of me, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cameras hooked up to my PC.
Oh wow. I bet it chugs pretty slow if you try to turn them all on at once.
Well, yeah, the application's only going to pull what it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can switch back and forth from all different kinds of cameras.
Very cool. Well, so to learn more, go to video360.com.
Thanks.
The array of cameras. Like he said, they used to be the enterprise business guys, but now that we're using the stuff at home, they have the commercial stuff. They have the webcams that you need. And according to Michael Baker, they do have inventory.
Yeah. That's his job. That's his job. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
a
think it's
quick,
pretty cool.
definitely. I have several of their cameras here that I've ran through the array of tests, and they've all come out shining.
Well, thanks, David. And that's our thing. Was we've always tried to build quality gear. We're not super deep in marketing, but that doesn't mean our products aren't good. It just
No.
means that we're not spending all our money on that. We're spending the money on the product.
That's okay. We'll help you get the word out.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that very much.
And speaking of
And
getting the word out, I want to do a sneak tease, a sneak preview. I have a lot of people have been coming to me asking how I do these video tricks. All of my switching around my scenes, putting a title bar below me. So I've created a course, and you could find it at virtualpresentercourse.com. And it's a soft release. We're still kind of cleaning up the website. But the course has 10 lessons and one bonus lesson. I'm going to add a few more bonus lessons. And it's designed for someone who's made a Microsoft Teams call, made a Zoom call. You know how to make a call. You've been in a meeting, but you have no idea what software I'm using to do this. You've never touched any of this stuff. Complete beginners, and it'll get you up and running, and you can start having some fun and bringing your kiddies into the meetings. And all the other goofy things that we do here on our show. So we'll be promoting it more heavily, and we'll have links and whatnot. But if you're interested in checking it out, please go to virtualpresentercourse.com. Ooh, that
All
felt
right.
so salesy.
well, send me
I liked
send
it.
me a link to that, David, and I'll put it out on our social.
Appreciate it. I'll send it to you after. So
Yeah.
are we ready for our final thoughts? Our chair of
Yes.
wisdom. Ready? Okay, here we go. There's our
Final
guru.
thought of the day.
I love this.
Okay, so did you guys know that Bert from Sesame Street has an identical twin brother named Bart?
Did
So
not
he
remember
may
that.
be best friends with Ernie, but he does have an identical twin named Bart. So Bart and Bert.
Was
Just so you-
is it an evil identical twin? Like sometimes the twin's the bad one, or is it just a regular guy?
I don't know. He only appeared on one episode in the 70s. So I'll have to do some research and
We'll have
maybe
to
I
see.
can let you know next week. But yeah, so that's the random thought of the day. So happy
He's
Friday,
on a
everyone.
trek in the Himalayas.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Great to see you.
Oh my God.